There are no fat people in Venice because they have no cars. They walk all the time. And I've not seen a place where so many people are talking in the street. Because if you walk every day, you meet people and your friends. And every time you meet a friend, you know you'll have to spend 5-10 minutes talking with him. Then you go, oh, there's another one. And I hear so many people talk about that it's only the tourists in Venice and all that stuff. I know some part of Venice where there are no tourists at all. I just went there with my entire family, and we rented a complete hotel and stayed on a square where there were hardly any tourists and it was only the locals. It was fantastic. And my grandchildren, they had the greatest time they ever had with this square, and there was men selling fish and men selling vegetables and little shops, and you could play ball and there were no dangers. Fantastic. No noise. It was quiet. It was like in the middle of the forest. You could only hear people walking and talking. In Australia, there is a bunch of city planning researchers who are all the time researching on the use of automobiles around in this world. And they have found that use of automobile topped in 2009, and it's now on the decline, which is very interesting. So in America, it's going down. Maybe it will bump up a little bit with Trump, but go down again. And in Australia, it's going down. Canada, it's going down. And I will happily say that, in my opinion, the idea of mobility from Detroit in 1905 of securing individual mobility by giving each individual 4 rubber wheels, 1 in each corner, was a very smart technology for the Wild West and for the rural areas. But it's a completely silly technology for mobility in cities. And the bigger the cities are, the more silly and unusable that technology is.